Hello everyone, my name is Gürkan. Today we are going to develop a simple referral system with using Spring Boot, and I made a simple front end for showing to you. Firstly, I create a user inside Spring Boot command line runner, and I'm pressing login button. We have only one user just for now. If I add friends with my referral code, we will see in here. I'm pressing invite button. You can see my referral code in URL and in this input. I will add a friend, new friend. Press sign up button and refresh this. You can see Mehmet. I will add one more user. I added one more user and you can see in here. And if I want to add one more user, I can't add because I have a constraint. I set this from application properties. You can only save 2 people maximum with this referral code. Let's try again. And you can see error, max person count has been reached. If I want add user again, I can use another reference code. By the way, they are saying I'm writing reference code, new reference code to here, and before I will log in as Sinan, you can see there is no user. But if I press sign up button and refresh again, you can see Carl in here. Firstly, we will create new Spring Boot application. You can use Spring in Laser website, but I will create from IntelliJ IDEA. I will add Spring Web, Data GPA, H2 database, Lombok, and validation. I will add one more dependency manually, which is model mapper. We will use model mapper for converting our details to entity or the entity to details. I'm opening from XML file and I will add model mapper dependency. Refresh. Now we are ready. Now I will make some configurations in application properties file. I'm adding Spring H2 console enable true, and I will add Spring data source URL GDBC H2 mem database, and I'm opening referral application class. In here I will create a bean public model mapper. For the use model mapper, we have to do this. Return new model mapper. Okay, now we can create our entities. Firstly, I'm creating a model package, and I will create a new Java class, which will be user. We will save this user to the our database, H2 database. For this, we have to add entity annotation. Data GPA will create automatically this table and fields. Now I have to add one ID field. It will generate identity. And I will add some more annotations from logmog. First one is data for getter setters and builder, all args constructor and no args constructor. And here I will add string variable, which will be username, and it will be unique. I'm adding column annotation and writing unique true. And I'm adding more fields. You can customize yourself. This depends to you. Now I'm making a simple project. We will have two fields about the referral code. The first one is our referral code. For example, if we want to invite my friends, I will send my referral code. The second one will be referred by code. This means, for example, you send this code to your friend, and your friend is registered with using this code, and this code will appear in your friend's user entity. So now I will create DTO under the DTO package, user DTO. I will add data annotation again, and I will copy these fields from entity and paste to our DTO. We will return these values. And now I will create one more package for the request, sign up request. It will be create user request. Create package, request package. And delete this. I will create a class under the request package. Okay. I will add data annotation again. And here I will add some constraints because we will check and we will show error. For example, if username is null, we will throw an error, throw exception. We will make exception handler later. User cannot be null and cannot be empty. And in this case, referred by code is required. I'm copying this to annotation and pasting again, and I will add some more fields. String name, string surname, mail. Okay, I will add not empty to the name field, and it's okay. Now I will create my repository package and repository interface. I'm creating an interface, user repository. I'm adding repository annotation to the here. Spring will understand this repository, and we will extend GPA repository. The first value will be our entity, and second one is our ID type, which is long. And now I will create a controller class, controller package and user controller. I'm adding REST controller before then request mapping annotation. If you add request mapping annotation, you can customize the endpoint. For example, we will do this endpoint API user, and here I will add model mapper before private final model mapper, and of course you can do this with using auto-wired, but Spring doesn't suggest this. We will inject this with using constructor based injection. I inject it. Now I'm creating my endpoints. First one will be get mapping, and in this endpoint we will send username as a parameter, actually as a pet variable. Public response entity, get user by username. It will be like a login operation. If I write username, if I send username to the here, it will return our user entity, and we can see our reference code, and we will use this referral code later. So get user by name, this is a pet variable, string username, and I will get user from service layer var, and it will be final var user DTO. I will convert in controller layer this to the DTO model mapper map user service get user by username. I will implement service later, Firstly, I'm writing general codes, then I will implement this, don't worry. Username and class will be user detail. Now I will return this with using response entity. Status will be okay, and body will user detail. Actually, I can do this with using OK. And later, I will add one more get mapping. In this mapping, I will get referral code, and I will show my friends who are joined with referral code. My referral code, I can see, and it will be pet variable again. Get all my referral code. I will send this to the service. It will return to our list. Final var list user dtos equals user service I will use stream, Java stream and map in here, but later, because now I don't have the list. I will implement this later. I will add one more mapping. It will be post mapping for creating a new user. We don't need to any pet variable. We will use only request body. And request body will be create user request. And I'm adding valid annotation to the here because I will check constraints if it's null or not null, etc. Firstly, I will convert this create user request to entity. User model mapper map create user requests and user class. And after I will save this in repository, but first I have to send this for service user service create user then it will return a user, and I will convert this to DTO final var user DTO equals model mapper map user DTO class. And I will return this as a response entity. Status will be created and body will be user DTO. Now I can create the service layer. I'm creating service package and user service. I will write here service annotation. Spring will understand, yeah, this is service. And I will inject our repository, user repository. Now I will create first get my username, delete this, get all my referral code. Okay, first I will implement this user service, private final user service, and inject this. Now create methods. It will return user, return null just for now, get user by username. So for this method I have to implement one query to the here. It will be optional because maybe there is no user with given code, given username. If there is no user, we will throw error. User find all by find by username and string username. And I'm going service user equals repository find by username or else throw. Now I will throw runtime exception, but later I will add our custom exceptions. It's temporary. User not found and return user. Actually I can do this in here. Okay, we don't need user. And I will create one more method. I'm copying this method name. It will return user list user, return null for now, and I will take referral code, string referral code. Then I will write one more query repository, list user find all by referred by code, not referral code, referred by code. And now final var referral codes users equals repository find all by referred by code referral code, and I will return users. But here I have to check one more something. Maybe we don't have any data with given referral code, we have to check is this referral code uh, uh, saving in our database or not. And I will create one more query. It will be boolean exists user by referral code string code. Okay, now I will check this in here. Repository exists user by referral code, give referral code, and if we have, there is no problem, but if we don't have, we will throw new runtime exception. I will customize this later. User not found with given code, and simplify this. Okay, now I will create one more method. There is a problem in here. We have to convert this to DTO. User DTOs, string and map. Here I will convert this to the DTO with using mapper. X going to X model mapper map X and user DTO class. User details. Okay, it will be user details. And now I will create this method, create user method. Public user, create user, return null. In this method, I will check some things. Firstly, I will check how many available referral code we have. I'm adding a variable to application properties. It will be default ref count, and I will add one more variable, code length. We will use this for generating referral code length, and we will use this for checking to referenced count user. User service, adding value, default ref count, private int, default ref count. Okay. In here, I will check before how many people we have with our referred codes, and int referred user count equals to get all by referral code. I will take real user from here. User get referred by code. this size. Okay, then I will check if referred user count is lower than default ref count. User set referral code. In here we will generate a new referral code or new user. I will implement this later. And else statement, we will throw new error, runtime exception, max person count has been reached, and save to repository this user. By the way, I have to check one more something. Maybe this referral code doesn't exist in database. I have to check this before saving user. User get referred by code mustn't be if equals to null or user gets referred by code is empty. I will throw new runtime exception, referral code not found, and I will check one more something. Exist user by referral code. Actually, I'm checking this in this line, so I don't have to check this again in here. Get reference codes, get all my referral codes, checking this. Okay, there is no problem. I don't implement this to if statement. Now I will implement this. I'm creating one more package. It will be util. I will create a random string generator. It will be component, and I will get value from application properties again. What was the name? Code length. Private int code length. Public string generate var letters equals to B C D E F G. And 0 1 6. Okay, now I will convert these two to uppercase. And I will convert these to chars. Now I can make stream operations in this array. I will create map to object. I will convert this chars. Now it's interesting. I will convert this ASCII code to character. Char x. and collectors to list. Now I will create one more variable, secure random. I won't use normal random library because it's not safe. Secure random is generating more safe numbers. It has a better algorithm. Name secure random and string generated. Before to create this, okay, I will do this later. Never mind. Code length generated equals letters get e, and I will return generated. In here I will do one more thing. I will shuffle this list with using collections shuffle. It will be more random characters. And here I will inject this to our service private final random string generator. I will add one more method. I will explain later. Private generate code. It will return string. In here I will return code generated. I will use do while loop in here because if we have same generated code, we will generate again, and every iteration we will check this. If we don't have in database, there is no problem, we can return this. But if we have same code in database, we have to generate again. So I will check this statement, this do while loop. Repository exists user by referral code generated, and generated will be string generator generate return generated. Okay, now generate code, and what is the error? I have to inject this. Okay, now it's injected, and I will implement my custom exception handlers. Now I'm creating new package exception, create general exception handler. I will write REST controller advice annotation here because I will customize our requests, error requests, and we will extend response entity exception handler. In this class we have a method which is the handle method argument not will. If we want to show these exceptions, these errors of validation errors, we have to override this method handle method arguments not valid. In here I will make some things. Firstly, I will create a map because I will add all errors to the map, and I will show like a JSON string and string errors equals new hash map. Oops. Now I will traverse for each exception get binding results get all errors. It's a list. I will for each this x x string field name. This means, for example, we don't have referred bytecode. It will return this field name equals, I have to cast this field error before, x, and I will get this field name, and we have to get error message. X get default message. Default message is already defined in Spring library. It will return default message, and I will add this to the errors hash map, field name and error message, and finally return this as a response entity status bad request and body will errors. Now I will add my custom exceptions. The first one will be user not found. I'm writing response status annotation to the here. It will be not found, user not found, and extends runtime exception. Create again constructor, take message and send message to super. And I will create code not found exception, code not found exception. Okay, and I will create one more exception. It will be max person count exception. I will make this not acceptable. Okay, in here I have to define these methods with using exception handler annotation. Exception handler, first I'm writing exception class, not found exception class, and public response entity not found exception, and I will create a map again, string errors equals new hash map, errors put And now we will show our custom error message. e.get message and return response entity. Status will be not found, and body will be errors. I will copy and paste it for each exception handler classes. Max user, max person count exception, and it will be user not found exception. I will change these classes. Oops. User not found exception. Copy this, paste it, and change this to max person count exception, and it will be not acceptable. Okay, now I will make finally one more thing. I will add course config, because I will use front end and we have to add course configs. Web config. By the way, if you are using Nginx, you don't have to make course configuration, but in this case we won't use Nginx or something else, so we have to add a course configuration. This will implements WebMVC configurer, and we will override add course mappings method. Registry add mapping, write pattern ***. It allows for all endpoints, and allowed origins again, and allowed methods. Now I will write method names, add, get, post, delete, put, option, and it will be patch. What's there? Okay, there is no problem. And finally, I will create a new user while interlacing application. I will implement command line runner, implement methods, and here I will use autovirus, but we don't need to make this. I'm making this just for testing. I will add repository, user repository, and I will add random string generator, user import this equals user builder, name will be fun, and also username will be again. Okay, I will change this. Surname surname, and our referral code will be random string generator generate. And later I will save this to repository, user repository, save user. Oops. Now I will run this application and I will check it using frontend. Is there any problem? Okay, there is no problem. Let's start. I want to check login. Yeah, Gürkan. We don't have any friend, but we can invite to friends. I click this invite button and inspect network. Create one more user. If I send null, it will return error. This is Turkish errors, default errors, but you will see in your language, in your computer language. And user mustn't be null. Why it's giving this error? By the way, we didn't implement this to the service. And now I will implement this service. Change this to max person count exception, code not found exception, and user not found exception. User not found exception again. Okay, I will check this. Login is changed. Username car. Why it's giving error? User already not empty. I will check box in user controller, endpoint user controller, host mapping. We are creating a user service create user. Exists user by referral code. Find all by referral code. Is empty. Want to check H2 database. Connect. Okay, referral code. This we have user. I want to create new user. User mustn't be now. User already not now. In this case, I will check create user request. Name referred code. Sorry, it will be username. Sorry guys, it will be username. Now I hope it will work. Copy this. Finally, it works. I have to refresh this. Carl. I will invite one more friend. It will be Jack. Expect. Okay. It's created. And if I want to add one more friend, we will get error. Make this Mehmet. Because we reached this bound, we can add only 2 friends with using reference code. But if we use another reference code, we can add user. Yeah, we added. By the way, there are same, referred by code same, and I will log in as Jack, and you can see Mehmet in here. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed in this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. You can find all source code in GitHub link. Have a nice day. Goodbye.